This is the story of Seo-jun, where he grew stronger by farming and evolving his pets by giving them his special juice, making them thick. Thick. What the? In the previous episode, we saw how Seo-jun tricked Ox number 3 into selling his body to him. Now, Ox number 3 has to work for 100 days, and he will receive 1 tower coin each day. After that, he has to return those 100 coins to Seo-jun. Meanwhile, the warrior rabbit evolved and his hammer was upgraded. Seo-jun finally met the baby queen bee, and they hugged each other. However, trouble arose when Ox number 3 came to work and unfortunately encountered Mommy Bear, leading to a fight. Seo-jun tried his best to stop them from fighting, but Mommy Bear was adamant, as she couldn't allow anyone to invade her territory. Ox number 3, driven by his pride, couldn't back down from the fight. As Seo-jun became increasingly frustrated with how to stop the fight, Theo, Baby Bear, and the tower manager pressured Seo-jun to give them food. This was enough to push Seo-jun over the edge, and he shouted that he would not give a single piece of food to anyone if no one listened to him. This declaration shocked everyone. Seo-jun, still furious with a loud voice while pointing his finger, commanded everyone to sit down. The mommy bear, Ox number 3, the baby bear, along with all the rabbits and Theo, as well as the tower manager, with a sad face realizing they were wrong, sat silently without saying a single word. After that, the situation came a little under control. Today's like goal is 4,400 likes. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's continue. Seo-jun, still angry, said to both the mommy bear and Ox number 3 that if both of them go on a rampage like that, not just the field and crops, but even Seo-jun and his other animal friends will get harmed too, so they must not fight. After that, Seo-jun turned back toward the rabbits and with a warm smile said, now they have to prepare a meal, as only by eating delicious food, everyone's mood will get happy and good, and it will also help in making friends between the mommy bear and Ox number 3. All the rabbits replied to Seo-jun with a cute, yes sir, and Seo-jun, while clapping his hands with a warm smile, said, well then, let's eat, shall we? With this command, the warrior rabbit started to hunt crayfish and piranhas with his newly evolved hammer. Then the sickle rabbit started to chop spring onion leaves, while the white rabbit, one by one, started to roast some mouth-watering corn on the campfire. The chubby and cart rabbit, while glaring and drooling upon seeing the roasted corn, started to transport the roasted corn and the spring onion. Seo-jun started to cook the meal. He first roasted some spring onions in his pan with delicious spices. Then he placed freshly roasted corn on a plate made with onion leaves and roasted piranhas wrapped in onion leaves placed on a plate also made with onion. Additionally, there was a full plate full of spring onions. Well, this was a feast. The mommy bear and Ox number 3, upon seeing this delicious food in front of them, couldn't help but open their mouths in amazement and excitement with sparkling eyes. And the next moment, they dug into the feast. Mommy bear and Ox number 3 were sitting next to each other in front of the array of delicious foods, and Seo-jun and all his animal friends were also sitting in front of the foods. Seo-jun politely told Mommy Bear and Ox number 3 to eat to their heart's content. Mommy Bear was about to eat, but Ox number 3 had already started eating the spring onions. Seo-jun then picked up a plate full of roasted corn and happily handed it to the tower manager, telling him to enjoy. The tower manager thanked Seo-jun in advance. Ox number 3, extremely happy while chewing a piece of onion, slowly approached to pick a piece of roasted corn, but before he could pick one, his hand clashed with Mommy Bear's as she was also trying to pick a piece of roasted corn. Then, once again, like 2-year-old kids, they started to glare at each other while growling, ready to go on a rampage. Seo-jun and his animal friends were left sitting speechless. Seo-jun, while clearing his throat and raising his voice, said that he was going to announce something very important to make the situation calm. Seo-jun first came close to Mommy Bear, and then, with a polite tone, said to Ox number 3 that this is Mommy Bear. She protects Seo-jun's cave and field, and she lives together with her cub named Kyung. As Seo-jun was introducing Mommy Bear to Ox number 3, she was just sitting there, still angry and breathing heavily. Then, Seo-jun went to Ox number 3 and said, but before he could say anything, Ox number 3 cut him off midway, and with an arrogant tone, said that he is Ox number 3, a Minotaur proud warrior. Then, still with a polite tone, Seo-jun explained to Mommy Bear that this Minotaur is called Ox number 3, and he is going to help Seo-jun in field work. As Seo-jun was explaining this, Theo was just sitting on Seo-jun's lap, listening to all of this. Finally, Seo-jun, with a serious tone, explained to both of them that now that they know each other and know that they are not enemies, they have to become friends with each other and not fight in the future. If they ever even for a second fight, Seo-jun is not going to give them food. Well, just hearing this, both Mommy Bear and Ox Number 3's worlds turned upside down, just thinking that they will not be able to drink and eat Seo-jun's special juice and food. And the next moment, the once enemies started exchanging warm handshakes like they are long-lost friends. Then they clung to each other's hands and started taking oaths that they will never ever fight in the future, with sparkling eyes. Well, they were friends now. They were. This is a good question. Meanwhile, Theo was just sleeping on Seo-jun's lap like a king. Then Seo-jun, while cuddling Theo, said to Ox Number 3 to just follow him, and he will show what Ox Number 3's work is. Then Seo-jun brought Ox Number 3 to the barren field. While looking at the field, Seo-jun explained to Ox Number 3 that his work is very simple. Ox Number 3 just has to dig up the ground, just like he did on the day of the blue moon, but not as rough as he did on the blue moon. Ox Number 3 just has to dig a little rough and solid ground until the soft soil comes. Hearing this, Ox Number 3 excitedly asked Seo-jun if he really has to just dig the soil, and after that, he will get 1 tower coin with as much food as he can eat. Seo-jun, with a proud look on his face, replied, "Of course, he is telling the truth, as he is a very good boss who doesn't exploit his workers." After that, Ox Number 3 got into position, lowering his body, and Seo-jun and Theo just watched curiously, thinking about how Ox Number 3 was going to dig the soil. The next moment, Ox Number 3 started to shake, his body started to glow purple, and his horns started to grow big, his eyes turned big, and Seo-jun and Theo got shocked and surprised. With a large growl, Ox Number 3 dashed while lowering his head with huge horns, and as he was going forward, because of his huge horns, the ground was getting plowed. While plowing this ground, Ox Number 3 was daydreaming, opening his mouth and drooling excessively with sparkling eyes. He was just thinking about eating the delicious spring onions after the work. Seo-jun and Theo were watching him from behind, seeing how Ox Number 3 easily plowed the ground like a bulldozer. Afterward, finally, Ox Number 3 plowed the field, and the chubby rabbit, with his cart full of spring onions, brought them to Seo-jun. Behind him was the father rabbit, ready with his watering can, and the shovel rabbit, ready to plant the spring onions. Seo-jun said, "Let's plant some spring onions," and everyone was happy and excited at the same time to plant them. After that, Seo-jun, one by one, started to plant the spring onions in the ground, and Ox Number 3 was playing with Baby Bear, showing off his muscles. Baby Bear was impressed seeing the muscular Ox Number 3. Then, while planting the spring onions, Seo-jun explained that it's not difficult to grow spring onions. They only have to plant spring onions once, and after that, whenever the spring onions fully grow, all they have to do is cut the spring onions in half, and the spring onions will grow fully again from the half-cut spring onion. As Seo-jun continued to plant the spring onions, the system notified him that he had created a 20-square-meter spring onion field and acquired 200 XP. Finally, all the spring onions were planted, and Seo-jun stood beside the planted spring onion field with a proud look on his face. He was chewing on a spring onion and said, "Spring onions grow really fast inside the tower. So from now on, I will have an infinite amount of spring onions, and I can also feed Ox Number 3 as much as he wants." Then, Seo-jun turned toward the husband rabbit, who was watering the spring onion leaves. He said, "There is only one problem after that." The husband rabbit's watering can suddenly stopped working, and the husband rabbit started to slam his watering can. Seo-jun, with a worried face, continued, "The only problem now is that there is a limit to the amount of water in the watering can, so it's not possible to water all the crops. And we have to go inside the cave and manually bring water from the pond or wait until the watering can recharges fully." As Seo-jun was wondering what to do, suddenly, the husband rabbit's whole body started to glow blue. His baby watering cat rabbit came close to see what was happening, and even Seo-jun got a little curious and asked why light was coming from the husband's rabbit's body. And whoosh! The next moment, the husband rabbit's watering can evolved and turned golden. The husband rabbit was very, very happy with sparkling eyes and gently raised his hand to catch the floating golden watering can. After that, as the husband rabbit very happily held his new golden watering can and stared at it, Seo-jun exclaimed in excitement, "The watering can changed and evolved, just like what happened to the warrior rabbit. This is the second awakening I've seen." Raising both his hands, Seo-jun continued, "The timing is perfect, and I'm really, really happy for the husband rabbit." Then Seo-jun asked the husband rabbit Now, how much water can the husband rabbit hold? The husband rabbit confidently showed with his finger, 2 times. Now I can hold water 2 times more than before, and I can regenerate the empty water can 2 times faster. Hearing this, while clenching his fist, Seo-jun exclaimed twice, "That is great." Then, while raising his hand, he started to cheer for the husband rabbit and the baby watering rabbit, saying, "Now they can continue their watering, and the spring onion will grow nicely." Meanwhile, the Minotaur King was sitting on his throne, shining and wondering what happened to ox number 3, why he's not returning for 3 days. After that, Seo-jun picked up all the newly born baby rabbits and put them in his bag. He then brought them outside the cave and released them, saying, "Today is the first day of the baby rabbits," and he brought them out to show them the outside of the cave. Seo-jun introduced the baby rabbits to the baby bear, and the baby bear, with a warm smile, gently welcomed them by holding their tiny paws. Then, all the baby rabbits came close to the baby bear's mouth and started sniffing the baby bear. The next moment, the baby bear started to lick the baby rabbits, startling them. Finally, after the licking session was over, all the baby rabbits, for a moment, just stared at the baby bear, thinking about what had just happened. Then, in an instant, all together, they jumped and climbed on top of the baby bear's chest. The baby bear, with his open hand, welcomed the baby rabbits. Then, the baby bear lay on the ground, and all the baby rabbits started to play on his chest, and some took a little nap. Seo-jun and Theo were watching this heartwarming moment from behind. Seo-jun was really happy, but Theo was not. He was angry, standing with his arms crossed. Seo-jun said to Theo, "Baby bear and the baby rabbit seem to be getting along, and the baby rabbit seem really happy." After that, Theo, with confidence, laughed a little and said, "I'm Uncle Theo, and the baby rabbits like me more than the baby bear." Then, to prove he is right, Theo turned and said to all the baby rabbits, "Let's go with him, as Uncle Theo has come, and now he will take them on an exciting adventure outside the cave." The baby bears and all the rabbits listened to Theo without saying anything for a moment. After a while, Theo noticed that all the baby rabbits were just ignoring him and started to play with the baby bear. The baby bear once again started to like the baby rabbits, and yes, they were really having fun. But Theo, on the other hand, well, his heart broke into millions of pieces. Theo fell on the ground with his knees and started to cry while shivering, asking the baby rabbits, did they forget their Uncle Theo? How can they forget their lovable Uncle Theo who loved them so much? How can they betray him? He started to smash the ground, saying, after all the things he went through to raise them, this is the result he got. As Theo continued to cry, Seo-jun couldn't do anything but just stand there silently, not knowing what to do. Then Seo-jun gently held Theo, saying not to be too sad. Seo-jun placed Theo on his lap, telling him to take a seat. The baby rabbits hadn't forgotten Theo. They were just playing with the baby bear. After that, they would definitely come to Theo, and now Seo-jun would give Theo some churu, but Theo was just sitting there, pouting in anger. Then Seo-jun, while feeding Theo some churu, asked curiously, "It's almost time for Theo to go to the lower floor to sell and trade, so why is Theo not going?" Theo, with a worried and sweet face, explained that he didn't want to go. Or to be clear, he didn't think he could go even if he wanted to. Seo-jun got a little confused and asked, "What does that mean?" Theo, getting more worried and panicked, explained everything that happened with him. He told how the Silver Wolf tribe attacked him. As Theo was explaining, the baby bear and the baby rabbit continued to play. Then, upon hearing Theo's whole story, Theo couldn't believe what he was hearing, that a bunch of wolves attacked because of this straw hat. Seo-jun wondered, was this really Luffy's hat? Theo, still a little scared, explained that this is why he can't go to the lower floor, or they will once again attack him, and he doesn't know if he will be able to come back alive. He is really scared. Seo-jun, on the other hand, placed his hand on the straw hat. He took his straw hat off his head and while staring at it wondered. He knows this is an artifact, but it is an unnecessary and useless item unless you are a farmer. Then Seo-jun realized there might be other farmers in this tower. Seo-jun, with a confident smile, once again put the straw hat on his head. Yes, he got a really good idea. Then, with a confident smile and a thumbs up, he said to Theo not to worry, as he really has a great idea to teach a lesson to those wolves. So with this, the episode ends here. Please write part 36 inches in the comment. Thanks for watching.